The reason why the youth have embraced Traore and all of them in the Sahel, it is precisely because people are tired of dictatorship. And if the army rebels, it will get the support. But it is the masses of the youth who must be at the helm of the agenda of African Renaissance. It doesn't end there. It talks about African trade, and then African trade agreement that is there must be championed and defended by the youth. African countries must trade among themselves. Africa must stop to become beggars of others. If we are so powerful, we will not be a walkover by the United States of America. South Africa must not fight alone. It must fight with the rest of the African continent. It must never accept to be isolated from the rest of the African continent. We must not allow Donald Trump to isolate us from the African continent. We must fight as the African continent for our own African renaissance. Comrades, we must stand up against neocolonialism, and that cause must be championed by the youth of our country. Be the champions of solidarity in advancing the African agenda. African Renaissance can't die in our lifetime. African agenda through NEPAD cannot die in our lifetime. The Youth League must champion that. When the youth in the continent is getting impatient and they found solutions in military juntas, and yet these military juntas are now justifiable, what do you do when in certain countries a 92-year-old wants to be president and the only thing that can make them not to be president is the grave? And the youth must rebel against that dictatorship. And that is what we said when we talked about African Renaissance. When you talk about what is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Gabon, and elsewhere in the African continent, you will realize that the reason why the youth have embraced Traore and all of them in the Sahel, it is precisely because people are tired of dictatorship.